Hello, ladies.
Hey.
Hey.
We have the whole crew back today. Gina, we're happy to have you back on land.
Yes. Welcome back, Gina. We missed you.
Thank you. I missed you guys. I was starting to get a little nervous that we weren't even going to make it back to land because we were stuck out at sea for an extra day. Can't complain.
I've actually never heard of anyone being stuck at sea. Like, what if you're on medication and you don't pack enough or snacks? They have food. They have enough food, right?
They have plenty of food, excess food. But I did wonder, like, how much food do they have? And I feel like I've heard like horror stories years ago of like a cruise that got stuck out there. Something they told me that it was a cruise ship that the engines like died.
Oh.
There was a mechanical issue. And so then if it's way out there, they have to wait for like maintenance to get out there to then like fix the engine. It's just a shit show. And so people were stuck out there for longer than what we had. We knew because we were like, we were watching it happen, like the hurricane on TV. And so when we first got on the boat, we just like to live on the edge to go on a cruise during hurricane season. And we thought we were going to, our itinerary was to go to Cozumel and Bahamas. So Bahamas first and then Cozumel. And then they got in on the cruise director's like, good morning. They're like, we cannot go to Cozumel. Your, safety is our utmost concern. So they took us to the Dominican Republic instead, which we were fine with. We love the DR.
Did you go to the Bahamas though first?
We went Bahamas was like the first day.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we got on the boat. Let's see, by the time we got on and like settled and stuff, it was probably afternoon. And then you get your luggage at like 6 or 7, stay the night, and then you wake up the first day in the Bahamas.
Oh, nice.
It was like Christmas morning, and I wake up so much earlier than him. And then, if you open the curtain, it's like Dracula.
Yeah. You're on the sun.
It's like a Caribbean sun. And so he's like, whoa, what are you doing? I'm like, it's like 7:30. I was like, we're on land.
Gina, was this your first cruise?
Yes, I was so excited. I'm like looking everywhere. Like, can you see the island? Where are we? I don't know. I was like, get up.
That's fun. How long did y'all cruise for?
So we scheduled a 5-day, and we obviously could not go to Cozumel because the hurricane, we would have like drove into the hurricane if we did that or been super close. And so they took us to Puerto Plata in the Dominican. We've been to Punta Cana.
Mhm.
They all sound similar, I
Mhm.
guess. But it was really cool. When you look out of the boat, it doesn't really look like much, but then they had built this, it was basically like a big outdoor mall type area that had 2 really big pools with swim up bars and the lazy river. It was like a resort right when you step off the dock.
They have something like that they developed in the Bahamas too. I think they're starting to do that for cruise ships.
Yeah. So, and this one was built in 2021. So everything was like sterling, like brand new. So that was cool. And honestly, it probably would have been, this was probably nicer than Cozumel would have been. So then we get back on the boat, and then everyone, is like chit chatting, like, do you think we're going to go back? Like, what do we, it's like this big mystery. Like, I don't know, like the hurricane's hitting, or can we make it back to Miami? And so we are actually taking a nap, and they have this little like ding that's like ding, ding, ding. It like wakes, like an announcement's about to be made.
It's like an alert.
So we're like sleeping, taking a nap because I got him in the habit of afternoon naps. I'm like, no, I want to nap at 3 p.m. every day from like 3 to 5.
Dream.
By the end of it, I wasn't napping and he was napping. I was like, okay. But the thing would be like, we were both taking a nap, and then it was like, ding, 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 like whatever we have an announcement. And I was like, get up. What are they about to tell us? Like, again, it's like so exciting. And he was like, the ports in Miami are closed, so we can't go back yet. So we're just going to have an extra day at sea. Hooray. So we actually were on a 6-day cruise, and it was cool. Like the whole app updated. They had all these events, like,
Oh, wow.
of all the entertainment that was already on the boat.
It sounds like you had a good time. I'm glad you had a great first experience, and I'm so happy you made it back safely because Nicole and I was so concerned about you. And I'm like, I need to figure out what ship she's on so I can track her ship.
We're out there cruising.
So I go on a cruise next month with my family.
Which one are you doing?
Carnival cruise. I forgot the name of the cruise ship.
We're on the Independence of the Seas.
Ooh, how brave of you.
Oh.
I know. Very patriotic.
And both of y'all swim?
Yes.
See, yeah, I need some lessons.
You can't swim?
No.
I'll teach you.
Is it that you can't swim or you're not a good swimmer? Because I can swim. Chris and I both, we're not strong swimmers. We would
Mhm.
never choose to do an aquatic activity that doesn't have some sort of flotation device.
I'm a fish. I'll teach y'all.
I can float really well.
Yeah, I can't float. I don't even know if I can doggy pedal. I don't really get in the water and have fun and swim. Like I probably could if I need to save my life. I would figure something out.
Floaties.
Right.
That's it. Our next date is at the Y. We're going to the Y.
We still didn't even go to the Beetlejuice pop up.
Oh my god, is it still open? I haven't even seen Beetlejuice, y'all.
It's not even worth it, Gina. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's not.
You can probably rent it at home now or like buy it at home, but the first few minutes of it, Chris and I almost walked out and I was so upset. And then by the end,
Why?
it's entertaining in a Tim Burton way, but it's like they should have just left it because I didn't expect it to be anything wonderful, but I don't know. It was just some storylines just no sense and not in a cool, creepy way. And just I could have done without this way. But I'm glad I saw it.
Sucks.
I think you should watch it, but it wasn't necessary to see in the theater, except that I did get my special Coke.
You went to my Bellevue Theater?
Yes, I went to your theater, and that was the highlight.
I only go to Green Hills. I love Green Hills Theater.
That actually should be my theater. What am I talking about? I can walk to that one.
You can just leave work and go relax, get in the recliner, watch the show.
I'm like, I gotta go, guys. I have a really important meeting. The girls are like, we've tracked your location. We know that you're at the movie alone. You weirdo.
Hey, that's your self-care time.
Yeah.
Well, you can buy every movie now. If you wait like 3 weeks, they all come out and you can buy them at home. So any movie that we think is going to be good, Chris and I will just buy because if you think about it, 2 people at the movie theater is like $35 and they sell it at
Yeah.
home for like 20. So we've just been buying certain movies and even if we don't like it, it's still less expensive than the theater and we could watch it at home and now we could watch it in the backyard.
Oh, but because I was just about to say, but the screen's not as big.
But it is in the backyard. It is in the backyard.
So Chris's birthday is coming up.
When is it?
It's the 22nd, but he won't be here. He'll be in Seattle on a work trip. So he's away now and he'll be away all next week. I'm going to have to get a boyfriend. I mean, he's always away.
He's always away.
I am your wife. I don't know why you neglect me. I am here waiting. Anytime you call me or text me, I'm always wherever you need me to be.
Wives are hard to handle. Okay. I need a little side piece boyfriend.
I am a very good wife.
Low maintenance. I don't need much. You
You are the best.
just a little quality time, and that's it. I don't ask for much.
Well, Kirsten and I separately went to pumpkin patches last weekend. I don't know. We should have just gone to the same one, but it was, when I tell you it felt hotter than a summer day here in Nashville, we were separately on hay rides, like dripping sweat.
Dying.
So it felt like we were together.
Like blazing hot.
I know. Everyone's always like, I want to live in Nashville because they have seasons. I'm like, no, we don't.
Sometimes we'll have 4 seasons in one day. I remember that one time it snowed, the sun came out, and then it was warm. And it was this meme about this guy laying on like a snow pile. He had on a hoodie, some shorts, and some sunglasses and some boots.
Oh my God.
I know. Like, we definitely do have seasons, but I feel like our spring and fall are very short.
And they don't match up with, like right now, it's middle of October. So I want it to be like 60 degrees and crisp, which it will be.
No, it's still
Right.
summer.
It's still summer. And then it'll be really cold really quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be fall for like 2 weeks and then it'll be winter.
Right.
And then it'll be winter until the end of March. And then it'll be spring until
Rain. It'll rain every day.
Yeah, we'll get spring for the month of April. And then it'll be hot as shit in May.
Yeah. People always say that they want to move here for the seasons, but I get so sad when it's fall, and then I hate to watch the leaves fall off of the trees, and then the trees are so bare and ugly, and then it gets dark at 4:30. I'm like, this is miserable.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I want to go on a cruise.
Right. Every year I'm like, okay, I want to move to Miami for, you know, the winter time and then move back to Nashville when it's summer.
We spent a good amount of time in Miami this last week because we stayed in Miami the night before the cruise. Ooh, forgot to share this piece of information. So we stayed at Central Wynwood,
No way.
Ah,
which was like Sobro Central.
Central.
where we
Yeah.
lived during filming.
The apartments all look exactly the same. I know this because we stayed in 2 separate ones because we stayed in one the night before. And it was like a legit hotel. They had like the concierge guy.
hmm
They had a snack area downstairs that was like a little grocery that you could buy different snack like drinks and candy and stuff.
hmm
And then when we got delayed, like when we got the extra day at sea, we were supposed to fly home on Thursday, and we were like, well, we're not making it home till like back to Miami till Friday. So then when we looked at flights, they were astronomical. We were like, we're just gonna wait till Saturday. Let's just go back to the Central.
Yeah.
So we did. We spent a whole, and they had the most comfortable bed. Honestly, it should have been at the Sobro Central. I probably would have moved in there.
I want to know where the bed came from. But I get nervous about comfortable beds because I love to get rest. And I'm like, if my bed is comfortable, then I'm not going to get any work done.
That's
Because,
me. I'm like, I want to like lay in bed all the time.
mm-hmm.
I'm a couch girl. I've learned from years ago when I was a really bad sleeper. My I don't even know what to call her, but it was a doctor, a specialist I was seeing, and she was like, "You only use bed for sleep and sex." So ever since then, like, I don't watch TV in bed. I don't lay in bed. I only read in bed if it's right before going to sleep. But if I wake up and I want to watch TV or read a little bit, I'll immediately get up and just do it all on the couch. So I still rot.
That's funny.
I'm still horizontal and
I
rotting,
still rot.
but not in my actual bed because she said that if you do that, you associate bed with activities versus sleeping.
I do all the activities in bed, and when I hit that pillow, my eyes are
Well,
closed.
that's a beautiful thing and never take that for granted, Gina.
I know. I mean, I did go through a phase of waking up like with anxiety. We've talked about that where I wake up, but here lately, I've been sleeping.
Love a relaxed girly.
Yeah. I used to eat in bed. I used to sit on my phone and look at Instagram all day.
Still,
Do you have a nightstand yet, Kirsten?
No.
you don't.
Where do you put your do you bring water to bed?
I just sit it right beside the bed on the floor.
What are you knocking over?
My bed is really low.
Is your floor carpet?
hmm
No, we can't do that because we have animals. So
Yeah.
they go. Hank will like drink all my water.
Yes,
in
I
the-
don't have many animals. It's just me.
Wait, that reminds me. Serious question, an important question. This is specifically for Kirsten. You don't have any animals at home. So throughout the day, do you make up random songs? And if so, what are they about? Because I know I probably compose at least 5 to 6 songs about my dogs, about what they're doing, about what I'm doing with the dogs. Do you do that?
No, but we need to get you an album, honey. Your album needs to drop. No, I don't compose any
What?
songs. I will turn on some classical music if I'm home.
Classical music.
Yes, because sometimes I don't want to hear words.
You need to listen to lo-fi beats, my friend.
Lo-fi beats.
Mm-hmm.
You are welcome.
What is that? Is that on Spotify?
It's anywhere.
It's like new age classical,
Yeah.
basically. It's just
Ooh.
beats, it's no words, and it is you can do
Chill.
chill lo-fi beats. You can do like
Ooh.
R&B lo-fi beats, just lo-fi beats.
Okay, lo-fi beats it is.
Sometimes I do my best hair to lo-fi beats. It's the ADHD thing.
Wait,
Mhm.
so Gina, you don't make up songs about Hank?
Of course I do. I'm like, we're going down the stairs to poop poop.
Um,
Oh, that's a good one.
See, it's a pet owner thing. I don't have any pets. Maybe I need to get a pet.
Where's my little sushi butt?
Yeah, I use butt in a lot of it.
I put butt after everything.
Okay.
And I call him sushi a lot.
Can I make a pet album?
Well, there's this guy who it's called Puppy Songs, and he sings all these really funny puppy songs, and you probably heard them on Instagram, and he does concerts. I'm sure they're for children.
You know what would be cool if someone hosted like a dog event, like at the dog park or someone, like if they came to perform and they did all their doggy songs, kind of like the artist you're describing right now. I mean, people would feed off that though because people love their dogs, and it's always packed at this dog park over here in South Nashville, close to the soccer stadium.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you the puppy songs guy, but he has this one song about scritchies. It's a bop.
About what?
Scritchies? I love it when you give me scritchies. Come on, give me scritchies.
I wish people can see your hands moving and your smile, Nicole, right now.
They will eventually. They'll see I'm getting red. It's like my nighttime, I feel like I'm going through menopause at 35 because I get really hot at night, and I've started sleeping with my little fan on the
You need,
bedside
like,
table.
hormone gel?
Yeah. I woke up dripping sweat last night.
What was I about to say about the dog thing? Oh, our friend,
One of Babe's friends, I can't say his name. He'll stay forever discreet, but his friend stayed with Hank all week, and there were so many funny things. The first thing is we have a Ring camera downstairs in the man cave, and this friend did not know that.
Oh, no.
We had to watch him interact with Hank every time, and he'd be like, "Hank dog, Hank a dog." Like, he's, like, talking to him, like, having full-blown conversations, and I'm like, it's so funny because we all do it, like, we just talk to him, and then he, at one point, was like, "I'm really worried about Hank because he hasn't really eaten much, and now he's doing this," and he sent us a video of him, like, he does that tap on his food, and he, like, nudges his food around and taps it and, like, plays with it for probably an hour, and then he, like, won't eat it, and he's like, "Is he okay? Like, is something wrong?" And I was like, "Oh, we forgot to let him know all the, like, really weird shit that Hank does because he's such an awkward dog." Like, he's just weird. Like, he taps his food. It looks like he's praying. I'll have to we can upload a video of it because it's pretty ridiculous. Looks like he's broken.
You don't have an instruction manual for Hank?
Oh, yeah, and then just random things. He's like, "I took him out and he, like, peed, but he wouldn't poop," like, vice versa. He, like, does one or the other. He just has all these weird
quirks, and at one point, he was trying to get him to sleep in the room with him, and he was like, "But then I heard him biting on the doorknob, so I put him in his crate."
and we're like, "He's just so bad." Like,
Oh
he's
no, he had to get in his crate that night.
yeah, so he slept in the crate the rest of the time. He actually likes getting in his crate. I confused him the other day, though, because I was, like, so distracted trying to leave, and I had, like, the garage open, the door open, and I was trying to be like, "Crate up," and I kept saying, go potty," and then I was like, "Why am I saying that? Don't go potty, get in your crate." Like, and he was looking at me like, "Why are you telling me to go potty right here?
I'm confused, mom.
I can't potty right here.
Gotta make up a song about it. It's the only way to handle.
Can't go potty right here."
Ooh.
I feel like everybody loves Hank. That's so cute though that he was concerned about him and sent y'all a little video. He's a great dog sitter, it sounds like.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was. He was like, he's, like, doing this weird thing with his food, and Hank's, like, chicken pecking his food. He's like,
Like Hank, your dog,
it
not a
really
chicken.
does. It looks like he's, like, tapping it and, like, praying. Like, it really is like he's burying his food with air because he goes to the side and, like, nudges like he's burying it.
Maybe he's looking for something. He's like, "Maybe mom left me a little treat."
I did Google it one time, and I read something about, like, it's called foraging, like,
Oh.
it's in their DNA that they're in a wolf pack, so then that's how they, like, hide their food. So he still does it even though there's not dirt or anything there.
Or anyone to hide it from. Like, you do not want his food.
We're not gonna eat it. He won't even eat Chick-fil-A fries. He spits them out.
What? That's weird.
I know. My dog is weird. I'll give him a fry. We'll be driving, and I will give him a Chick-fil-A french fry, and I'll get out, and it's still in the back seat. I'm like, "You're not right. Something's weird."
Yeah, because I try to limit myself to those fries. I had some Saturday. I probably only do Chick-fil-A once a month or once every other month now, but try to stay far away from those fries because they go right to my thighs.
Fries for the thighs.
Fries for the thighs.
So good. You have so much discipline.
I try.
Shaquille was in town last week for like 3 days, and of course we didn't see him because even though I knew he was coming weeks in advance, no one made any plans because that's just who we are. But of course, he tried to surprise Gina and showed up at the salon without realizing that she was on a boat.
On vacation.
Only something you and him would do.
They do.
But he put in our group chat, he put everything that he wanted to do with each one of us that made perfect sense, right? It was just the perfect sense. And
Didn't
I'm
do a
like, okay,
thing, did he?
well, add the dates and the times. The only person he got to see, he was only able to see Aries and his mentees. And I was busy. I was working. So I was like, well, I'll just have to catch you next time, buddy.
Catch on the flippity flop.
And I wanted him on the podcast, but getting that man to sit down for an hour seems to be impossible.
I feel that.
Oh, he could have came on the podcast. He has time.
We'll get him to do this while he's back in Austin. Don't worry, everyone. We will have guests at some point. We keep saying it, but it'll be a surprise.
But it's because you guys have hard enough time trying to get me to record.
That is true.
How are we supposed to get a guest?
And it's funny because, you were on your cruise, so we're like, let's just have Chris do it because, that man has more opinions about reality TV than anyone in the world. So we're like, this is great. Chris will do this Love is Blind recap with us. But where was I going with that? Oh, we were doing the podcast and I was like, but I want to know what Gina has to say. And I know you're going to listen to the episode and you're going to have thoughts based on what we said. So it's kind of like doing double work when we record without you because we want you involved and you want to be involved. So
But I haven't listened.
not yet.
So if you did want any perspective without me listening, now would be the time to ask a question.
Oh, I think my main question, we're jumping around today, people. Bear with us, bear with us. My main question about Love is Blind, Gina, because I know you watched it, is do you think when they say I love you, do you think they mean it at the time? Or do you think they're just caught up and they want to get out of those pods?
Mm.
I really think they are in love when they say it.
You think that, Nicole?
I don't think they are in love, but I think they truly believe it.
Oh, you think that they think. Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think they think it.
Gina, what's your take on that?
I also think they think it, but I only think that because I read something that they date for like an incredible, like they're on like 12-hour dates at a time.
Jesus, that's a long day. That's a whole shift.
They are, yeah. So it's like by the time they do get like engaged, I think they've truly dated. What would have been if you think about like, okay, I'm gonna go to dinner with this guy on Saturday, and then I'm probably gonna see him the next Tuesday, and then I might see him again on Saturday or whatever. And you're like kind of texting randomly. They've already accomplished all of that in like one sitting. So it's like what we went through was very much, we felt like, oh my God, we've been doing this for 3 years and it's really been 3 months. I think they are in that pressure cooker too. I also, this is probably conspiracy, but it is what it is. I also think that they get thousands and thousands of applications. And I think that there are people like sitting at this table in a conference room and they're like, okay, this person's a scientist, this person's a scientist.
Mhm.
And they're like, this person is bilingual, this person's family is from, oh, they're immigrants or whatever. And they have all these things and they stack up all these commonalities and cast people that they know have like more than 3 to 5 things in common. So that way, when you're sitting in the pod and you're like, oh my God, you're a physicist? I'm a chemist. How could it be? Like, it's like this crazy thing. But it's, if you think about the paperwork that we filled out, it is like in depth. So I bet they're like highlighting through things to figure out what the commonalities are to essentially kind of match make people without matchmaking them. Because think about it, how else are they going to even get 5 couples out of the amount of people they have?
Right.
Yeah, this season I feel like a lot of people were like athletes or in the military.
Yeah, a lot of military.
So it's like they like probably write down all these commonalities of people to where there's just enough to where someone's going to be sitting there talking and they're like, oh my God, we just knew. We just knew because both of our parents were in the military. They both moved here. They were both bilingual.
And then they throw Leo in there to throw everybody off.
Well, they're like, here's a man who talks about how much money he has, and we have a woman who talks about how.
Who really wants to marry someone that has a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's your commonality. So I don't know. I just think it's like there has to be some type of very strategic casting
Yeah.
to be able to get 5 couples to quote unquote fall in love. And they, from the side that they're on, which we've been bamboozled a bit as well. I heard that word today and I was like, it is that kind of thing. Like we're a little bit bamboozled too, because I mean, even if you think about Clint and I, like we had a lot in common. We lived in the same apartment complex.
Mhm.
We believe very much the same, whether it be like our core values, religion, politics, like business, like all these things we had in common. So they knew all of that based off of our paperwork, which made them think like, okay, this is a match for, and it's, if you think about it, it's the same production company. So they're like, okay, these two people are a match, whether or not they see each other and they're like, ooh, you're 5'3" and I thought you're a football player. Not really what I thought. But it's really based off of their physical connection at that point when they do see each other, or the things that you learn hanging out with someone that you're like, I have the ick now. No, thank you. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
come later. But it's, I think, very similar to what we go through. And I don't know, Nicole, like how long did you feel like it was before you're like, okay, I really love this guy?
that's a great question.
I feel like I felt it so early on, but it
Mhm.
wasn't I'm in love with him. It was like I could feel love
Like I
developing.
could love, yeah,
Like
love this
even on
person.
the honeymoon when we had that whole thing with the dogs, it was like the way that I felt so strongly about making him feel better and making things right with our situation. I was like, You don't feel that way for just someone that you're like, oh, I went on a date with him and this could be cool."
And it's because you're in it. Like for us, we had to film how many hours a week? Like 86. Like our first day is like 24 hours.
Exactly.
A very long period of time. I think we're in that too.
I remember thinking it like it was right before our 1 month anniversary, and I definitely thought it, but I didn't know if I was just caught up in the moment or not because I could feel it, but I was like, I don't know anything about this man really except for past 3 weeks. And I kind of said it to him definitely in a joking way. Like, I do not blame him for not picking up on it, but I said it and he didn't say anything back. And I was like, all right, well, maybe I'm just like in the honeymoon stage. And then when we met with Pastor Cal, he was like, you're overthinking it. If you feel it, say it. And he said it first. And then I immediately said it back because it just felt right. And I haven't questioned it since.
Oh, we'll never forget that moment. I cried. I know Kirsten did too.
I sure did. On the Love is Blind show, I don't know. I feel like it takes a lot for me to love someone. And they also don't get to see each other. So they love each other based off of emotions too,
Mhm.
because they're building that emotional connection. So I'm like, how do you love them?
I think that they also think that the commonalities that they're experiencing
Mm,
and the type of people they are have already been match made on paper, but they
right.
don't realize like, oh, we wrote all this down and there's someone that's casting that like found people that think the exact same as I do
Hmm.
and value, because we not even like commonalities in terms of like, you're both in the military or bilingual or whatever. Like, if you guys remember, we wrote down our deepest insecurities. We wrote down all these like very deep emotional things. And so I think in casting, they have to know all of that too. And when you're put in that pod and you're like thinking you've been given this opportunity, then you're probably like, "Oh, this is so serendipitous. It has to be love." Like, I have to love this person. Like, I can't believe it.
So it probably is like,
You don't think about the fact that it was kind of all on paper. And
Yeah, I don't think that that crosses their mind.
yeah, they think like I'm in this pod dating and how the hell could this other person have all like, because they're always so surprised. Like
Right.
we know because we've been on through this type of process, but like
Hmm.
you wouldn't think. Like I even found it a little bit surprising, like the things that Clint and I had in common. But I'm like, well, no shit. Like they made me fill out paperwork for 2 full weeks, and then they match people that are based off of this very, very extensive
Yeah, it's
psychological background
like
check.
a modern day arranged marriage,
Yeah.
basically.
And so I think they're doing the exact same thing.
Hmm.
It's just they're putting them in pods, and these people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I met you in a pod, and you have all the same characteristics as me." It's like we're the exact same person.
Yeah, I could definitely see how they fall for each other, but falling in love is next level. I can see how
Mhm.
you develop, like you said, Nicole, you develop that form of love. But I feel like I would have to date somebody and really see how they are outside of the
Yeah.
pod in order to truly fall in love with someone.
I also think that we didn't go on our show with the idea that we had to fall in love, but since Love is Blind is kind of reverse, I feel like if they do really like someone and they know they're about to get engaged, it feels like you have to kind of be in love, which I said this on our
Mhm.
last week episode. Like, I want them to normalize saying, I don't know if I'm in love with you yet, but I could see us having a beautiful life together. I feel very strongly towards you. Let's get
Mhm.
engaged. Let's make this happen. But I think because it's literally called Love is Blind, having strong
Like, I have
feelings,
to be in love.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you can't get the same effect if you're like, "I don't know if I love you, but I wanna try and see if I am in love with you." Because then you see on the honeymoon or whatever their vacation, it's like, "I hate you as a person, but I still love you madly. I'm endlessly, hopelessly, madly in love with you, but everything you do makes me want to throw up." It's like, so you don't love them.
Is love really blind?
Is love really blind?
Well, and it does work. I mean, you've seen so many successful couples, and
Mhm.
I do really appreciate the fact that it does work because people get to know each other before they see each other, but it doesn't take away the fact that looks do matter to some degree. I mean, like there are people on the show who I don't find attractive, but I could see falling in love with them if
Mhm.
got to know their personality first. Maybe then I would like them more. But if you really think the person's disgusting, no amount of love between a wall is going to make that person less disgusting.
I honestly feel like after it's so crazy because Elise and I was talking about this the other day, and I was like, I probably would have had a better chance of actually staying married or actually falling in love on Love is Blind because I feel like you actually have a wall up so you can kind of let your guards down and you're in a more comfortable environment. For me, that would have been more of my style of getting to know someone because I would probably be more comfortable with it's like talking on the phone or texting, kind of like Gina, what Gina was saying. And it's like, okay, you're dating someone through the wall versus, speeding and rushing into the entire process. It's like the reverse opposite way. So I feel like I probably would have had better success, in a relationship on that show, and I know it's never too late to go on there, but I feel like I probably would have stayed married because they do have, like it's just a different process, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, if I was to go on a show again, a dating show, it would definitely be Love is Blind.
You hear that, Kinetic?
Call him. Call him up.
Ah!
But I do feel like you would ask the not right questions, like they're right and wrong questions.
Now for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and we've been through a show where you've been conditioned to ask all the questions.
Right.
And that too.
But these people talk about what tattoos they have, but they don't know if they wanna have children, or they'll talk about,
Mhm.
their childhood and if their parents are still around, but they don't talk about where they live now and what their work schedule is. Like, yeah, these are all
Mhm.
important topics, but what is a need to know right now versus what can I take my time getting to know? So you see on the honeymoon and beyond, I keep calling it honeymoon, whatever, their vacation and beyond, like, wait, you wake up at 3 a.m. to go to work and you're in bed at 6. Like, I had no idea. That didn't actually happen, but I always think of bedtimes because that's something that Chris and I differ on. But they don't ask those questions, but that pertains to their daily life. But they know about, something in third grade that happened and embarrassed them.
Wait, tell me the difference in your bedtime.
So Chris is a night owl and I'm not a night person. So we rarely ever go to bed at the same time, which used to bother me. And then it used to be okay, and it bothers me again, so I go through phases. Literally only because as much as he tries, because he is so considerate, I'm such a light sleeper, so it'll wake me up when he comes
Mm.
to bed. So I
Hmm.
don't mind the not falling asleep together. Like I said, I read before bed. I don't watch TV before bed. He likes to watch TV. He saves his before bedtime for his me time, like watching scary movies that I don't like, playing video games, which he's entitled to his me time. Mine is in the morning. But when he comes into bed, the dogs get all like they want to adjust where they're sleeping or he's brushing his
Mhm.
teeth and it wakes me up. So I'm like, not only did we not go to sleep together, but now I'm woken up and I wake up way earlier than him, so that's my only
It's
issue.
annoying, yeah.
But there's really
Yeah.
no solution because there's no way to meet in the middle there. It's either he goes to bed when I go to bed and he doesn't want to, or he goes to bed when he wants to go to bed, and
And you have to wake up.
yeah.
So sometimes will he say, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to come to bed early. I may watch only one scary movie or I may play the game for, 45 minutes and then I'll come to bed with you." Like, does he ever, like, sacrifice that sometimes?
Oh, yeah, like, we'll do that, but I don't think of that it is a compromise, but there's no compromise where we're both happy. So it's either, like, my night or his night.
Wow, I really take my bedtime routine for granted.
Gina, what's your bedtime routine?
Well, we go to bed at the exact same time, typically between 9 and 10. And then we, like, do our bedtime stuff at the same time, so he'll, like, floss while I'm doing my skincare and all of
Mhm.
that, and then we lay down. This man gives me vitamins every night, so he gives me a
Oh,
melatonin, 2 fish
such
oil,
a
and some
sweetheart.
sleep gummies,
Oh,
and then, we watch an episode or 2 of just, like, a 30-minute sitcom. So we went through all of Friends. We've been through all of Two and a Half Men, like, twice. We love that show. And then I typically we kind of one of us falls asleep first usually, and then we just turn the
Mhm.
TV off and go to bed.
Well, my partner doesn't live with me, but whenever he comes to see me, it's easier for us to go to bed together because sometimes I'll cook and we'll eat and then we'll watch a show. And then he usually falls asleep first. And I'm like, come on, get off the couch. We have to go get in the bed. And then we'll go get in the bed and we'll fall asleep. But at his house, it takes him longer to come to bed. And I'm literally on the phone calling him, like, hey, what are you doing? When are you coming up here to go to bed? Because he has to do his nightly routine, shower, he has to feed his dogs. He has like 3 cane
oh,
corsos.
wow.
Aren't those huge dogs?
Yes, they're so cute, but yeah, they're
He's
big dogs.
3? Aren't they, like, over 100 pounds?
Mhm.
Jeez. And
I wanna
But
see all of them.
you don't sing songs about them?
no, I don't.
How are we just figuring this out, Kirsten?
You should start making up songs. They really appreciate it.
Okay, I'm gonna start making up songs for them, but they're so cute.
What are their names?
King, X, and I always forget the girl's name.
What?
Because at first she wasn't his dog, it was his friend's dog, and his friend moved out of town, so he gave him that dog. But King is for Martin Luther King and X is for Malcolm X. And so the female dog is a black activist as well, but I can't remember which one she is.
Harriet.
No, she's not Harriet. I would definitely remember that. It's not someone that is as common. I'll get back with y'all once I find the name. But he like cooks them. He gets them the rotisserie chicken or either whatever leftovers if he goes to eat at Alexander's.
What?
And so sometimes I will help him like prepare their meals because I feel like those are our children.
How are we just learning about this?
This is crazy.
I know. I'm like a dog stepmom kind of, yeah.
And you don't even know the girl's name?
I know. I just say, hey girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey girl. Hey.
Hey, good girl.
Yeah, I say, "Hey, girl. Hey, boys." I don't call them by their names unless they're like trying to get the food out of my hand.
You're like, "Bad girl."
Yeah, I'm like, "Get back, y'all." I'm like, "King, stop, stop, get back." But usually, I just help him like prepare their dinner because they get very gourmet
I'm
dinner.
in shock.
I know,
Me
right?
too.
I'm in actual shock. The amount that we talk about dogs, and we're just finding out that you spend a hefty amount of time with 3, like,
Giant.
Giant dog.
giant dogs, and you're a step dog mom.
I know.
I just feel like there's so many secrets.
So many unknown facts.
What else, Kirsten?
But yeah, so sometimes I'll help him like prepare their meals so it won't take him as long coming to bed.
Do they sleep with y'all?
Hell no. Absolutely not. They go back outside.
They sleep
They
outside?
sleep outside?
Yeah. But like if it's too hot or too cold, he'll bring them in. They love being outside.
Yeah, I mean, those sound like dogs. We
Yeah.
have, like, not real dogs.
Yeah, we have, like, Hank would not survive. If I try to leave him outside, he'd be, like, crying.
Yeah, they're cane corsos, so they're guard dogs. But like anytime it's extremely hot or either extremely cold, he brings them in the house. But they like to be free. And he has a huge yard. He has a massive yard.
Are they sweet?
And they're gated in. Yeah, they're nice to us because they know us, but he has to put them up when visitors come over so that they won't bite the visitors.
Like, if Nicole and I came over, would they try to bite us?
I don't know. I don't think that they would, but y'all will have to come over one day. I'm gonna tell him we'll have to invite y'all over.
I don't know, I'm scared.
Maybe y'all can come over and watch football or something one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he has like a pool house with a projector screen and all of that.
Okay, pop off, king.
Ah! He's so silly.
So that's your before bedtime routine, okay. I will say though, Nicole, back to the bedtime, I do feel for you because there are, like, the occasional times, typically it's our weekends, that, like, he wants to stay up late, and I'm like, "Why do we have to stay up past midnight? I'm tired. I've worked all
Yeah.
week." So I'm like, "Why don't you wanna come to bed with me?" And then I will go to bed, and of course, right when I fall asleep, it's like, like the door's opening up and like things are rustling and I'm like, and then I'll turn the TV on and then I'm like waking back up and I'm irritated.
Yeah, I don't like staying in his house either. When I go to his house because it's too hot and he takes too long to go to bed and we'll stay up and then I'll wake up cranky. Yeah, I like when he comes to my house because we can go to bed. And like his TV sometimes is too loud. I'm like, I cannot get my beauty rest. I'm like, I have to get my rest.
Well, 'cause it's on your turf, but I don't have my own turf anymore. But I will say, in Chris's defense, I am not as considerate as him, but he's also a deep sleeper. Like in the morning when I'm up. But I will also put some accountability on the dogs because in the morning they want to be fed. So they're a lot louder than I am, but I'm like turning on lights, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm feeding the dogs, I'm singing good morning, I'm asking them if they had good puppy dreams. But at night he like creeps in to come to bed. So as much as I don't love that he potentially wakes me up at night, he probably doesn't love that I wake him up in the morning. But I always say you can watch TV in bed, but he doesn't like to watch scary things when I'm around because I really don't like them.
Me either.
So that is nice of him. But I use that time before bed to read. And you guys, I am in the last book. That author I've been reading all year, all those fantasy books, she wrote, I think there's 6, math is hard. There's like 18 books and they're all over 500. They're anywhere from 500 to 1,000 pages. And I'm on the last book of hers.
Oh my god.
And I'm so sad because I don't want it to end. But I read like 400 pages this weekend and I can't stop. I'm flying through it. And I'm so sad that it's going to end.
Or a little bookworm.
I know. How long did it take you to read 400 pages? That's a really good book.
Yeah, this one's really good, and, we just sat outside all weekend, and Chris watched football on the projector, and I just sat next to him and read my book, so I was, like, in my little
Love it.
book world, but I don't know what I'm gonna read next because I'm gonna be so sad. All of that to say is I do my reading before bed, so even though I offer for him to watch TV in the bed while I'm reading, it's not like I'm watching it with him, so his me time and my me time are just in separate rooms, but we do spend our entire day after work together, like, we're literally attached at the hip. So we watch our little sitcoms and whatever shows together, we eat together, hold hands while we're brushing our teeth. No, I'm just kidding.
You're funny. You can function like while the TV's on while you're reading.
Oh, I'm in the zone, like,
I
you
can't
can.
do that. I can't.
No, I don't think I could
And
either.
he tries to talk
Mm-mm.
to me. I'm like, "You see me reading, I am not having a conversation."
I would have to put in, like, earplugs or something.
No, I'm in the zone.
I don't know, I'm so ADHD that I can hyper focus pretty easily. I'm usually working when he's watching football on my laptop and I can't hear anything. He's like, "Oh my god, did you see that?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about. Is the TV on?" Like, I'm like looking around.
You're in the room? Didn't even notice.
I'm so zoned in on what I'm doing. Didn't even see you there.
I'll watch football when it's on, but I do like to snuggle up before bed.
We don't snuggle.
You don't snuggle?
No, I don't like snuggling.
I'm a big snuggle bug.
I have to snuggle for at least like an hour or so.
We are not super snuggly. Like, there is no big spoon, little spoon, none of that. Now, I'll, like, rub your arm and, like, scratch your head, like, give you scratchies and all of that, but, like, we're not, like, a huggy in bed, like, snuggly.
I love when my man holds me, and I love laying on his chest.
You don't koala bear?
Mm-mm. Nope, we don't do any of that, and when it's time for bed, we're very much both this is how you know it's a match, we're like, "Do not fucking touch me." Like, we, like,
Oh, yeah, no.
roll opposite edges, and what's so funny is
So
that
hot.
I always end up cocking a knee up. Like, I have to have, like, one leg straight and one knee. It will slowly rise, like, throughout the night, and if my knee ever gets close to him, it'll be, like, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the minute I, like, move my knee a millimeter, he's like,
No.
Why can I visualize this? This is
I'm like, "How does
hilarious.
he have this radar?" Like, it's like, boom, 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 like, "Move your leg." I'm like,
That's
"How do you
so
even feel
funny.
that?" Like, I'm not even awake to know that I'm moving my leg up yet, and he's like, "No, move it."
So, Gina, you sleep on your back?
I sleep on my side, and I think we both sleep on our sides, but we face opposite directions, but
Mm.
sometimes I'll flip over, and we'll be, like, facing the same way, and that's why I'll have my one leg straight, my other one I'm on my, like, side/stomach.
Yeah.
So I'll, like, start to cock a knee up, and it's, like, coming up, and if it goes anywhere near him, he's like, "Move your knee." I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
Oh my god. No, we sleep feet touching.
Oh.
Like, feet have to be touching, but the rest of the body cannot touch because I get too hot, so my face is in my little mini fan, our feet are touching, and then Charlie's in between
Oh my
us, and
Aw.
he's in Chris's nook. They, like, snuggle. I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna lay here with my fan," but our feet have to touch.
You know who else refuses to snuggle?
Hank?
Hank.
Are you serious?
Y'all, he's such a jerk. If you're like, "Come here." Listen, this is our night every night. "Hank, come up, buddy. Come up, buddy." And he'll either plop down on the ground, and we're like, "Okay." Or we'll be like, "Come on, come up." And he will crawl under the bed instead.
So, didn't he used to sleep with Clint, though?
He would sleep well, that's the other thing. If there's 2 people in the bed, absolutely not.
Oh,
Not coming up there. If there's 1 person in the bed, yes.
mhm.
And if it's a man, 100%.
Yeah.
Hank is not a female lover. He loves authority, he loves men, like, I
Oh.
swear. I'm like, "Don't you wanna love on me?" Like, he'll get him on the bed in the morning if I'm, like, still laying in bed and he's getting ready, and I'll be petting him, and the minute that he gets up and, like, walks into the bathroom, Hank will, like, go to the edge of the bed, lay down, and will stare at him in the bathroom. I'm like, "Hello? Am I chopped liver? Like, I'm still laying here, you could snuggle with me, but no, you have to go look at what he's doing in the bathroom."
Gotta be with his data.
Yeah, he loves it. But we, like, beg him to come snuggle, and he's like, "No." He'll actually lay on the ground and, like, cock his head and look at us like, "Pff, I ain't coming up there."
If I had dogs, I don't know if I would let my dog sleep in the bed with me. The only way my dog could sleep in the bed with me is if it was like a tiny dog that weighed only maybe like 25 pounds or less.
They say it brings down cortisol levels when you have a dog sleeping in the bed next to you.
"Hank, do you hear that?"
No, that's a good study. I don't know, but I just would be nervous. I'm like, no, if you have to go outside and use the bathroom and then come back in here and then you get in bed, and that just stresses me
You're
out.
just rubbing your pee-pee on the bed.
Yeah, that the whole thought of that is starting to stress me.
Poo poo paws, poo poo paws in the bed.
"Poo-poo paws." Yeah, no, Hank will not sleep in the bed, so but he does jump up there if it's, only 1 person.
Um, Last note before we head off for the night, Married at First Sight season 18 starts this week.
Okay, I need to try to see if I'm gonna watch that show. You know, I struggle with the dating shows.
This is a show about marriage, Kirsten. You actually marry a stranger, it's the craziest thing.
I think our listeners would like to hear our thoughts on it because when we were on the show, I used to listen to not a ton, I had like 3 podcasts that I listened to about it, and they always had some interesting perspectives, but I was like, "You weren't there. You're just speculating, you don't know." And granted, we won't know the details.
Yeah, so we're gonna be speculating once we watch, and that's why it's always hard for me to give honest feedback because I don't know what's truthful when I'm watching the show.
However, we can speculate, we can make educated
There we go.
guesses.
Based off of our personal
Correct.
experience,
Exactly.
Correct.
which is the best educated guess that anyone's gonna get.
So, I think we're gonna make Kirsten watch this season so we can recap it for you guys, and not like a full-on recap. There are plenty of great podcasts who will recap every single second of every episode, but what we're gonna do is just tell you our take on, like, the controversial stuff that people are talking about, like the dinosaurs of the season 18.
It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing.
I hear it's a good season.
Bum, bum, bum.
On that note, everyone, Thank you for tuning in to another episode of D-List Diaries. Gina, we're so happy to have you back. And
Thanks.
tune in next week because we'll have, who knows, something.
Something crazy.
Married at first sight speculations.
All right. Well, reach out on Instagram at D-List Diaries if you have thoughts, questions, comments. We want to hear it all. Have a great evening, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.